And now, in studio, bringing his Midwest values from the Show Me State to the land of San Diego. He's a triple threat, licensed as an attorney, mortgage broker, and a top producing realtor who's crushing the competition. Here to deliver you what's happening in the trenches of the market. Your host, Michael Gaddis.
Welcome back to the Michael Gaddis Show on AM 1170 The Answer. I am your host, Michael Gaddis of michaelgaddis.com and frontierloangroup.com. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite topics. If you listen to the show, you know I talk about it quite a bit, reverse mortgages. Now, for all of you out there who, when I mention the word reverse mortgages, just crinkled up your face and go, ooh, you need to really listen, because things are different now, and in order to really understand have an opinion on reverse mortgages, you should really understand them first, because they're growing in popularity, and a lot of the problems that they had have been addressed. And I'll give you an example of that. I was looking through an article, just to prepare for the show on reverse mortgage news. And one of the things I found was an article that was in an Orlando newspaper. And it says, local woman loses home to reverse mortgage company. Husband's death forces her out. Now, I know when you read that headline, you're thinking, oh my God, these reverse mortgages are the most awful things in the entire world. Well, let me tell you what really happened here. What happened is that they put her on this note. Actually, they didn't put her on the note at all. They put the husband on the note and left her off the note. So when the husband died, she had no affiliation with the note whatsoever. And because she didn't have an affiliation with the note, the terms of the note say when the borrower dies, the note comes due. So that's what happened in that situation. Now, the rules have changed. Now, non-borrowing, and why did they do that? That's probably your question. Well, why did they leave her off the note? Well, my guess is that they left her off the note at the time because of qualification issues. Either she was below 62 at the time, or there was something was preventing her from being on the note. So whoever originated the note basically said, well, we should not put her on the note, and we'll take him on the note. And that's what happened. So what happened is he passes away. She's not on the note. And the reverse mortgage company says, okay, the note is due. Now, the rules have changed, because now, even if you're a non-borrowing spouse, you can be listed on the note, and you have the same rights of occupancy as the borrower. So now that really comes into play if one of the borrowers is below the age of 62. So let's say you have a wife that's 70 and a husband that's 58, the husband can be put onto the note as a non-borrowing spouse. That way, they're identified to the mortgage company, to the reverse mortgage lender. And if the wife passes away, the husband could continue to live in the house because they're named as a non-borrowing spouse. So the rules have changed. So if you see an article like that, it might be a remnant of the past, and the new rules have changed that. But then, with that being said, here's what it comes down to. When you're getting a reverse mortgage, or you're thinking about a reverse mortgage, or someone you know and love is thinking about getting a reverse mortgage, it's all about education and knowledge. I stress that no matter what I do. No matter what I do, whether I am practicing law, or I'm helping somebody with a real estate, or I'm helping people with a reverse mortgage, I'm all about education. In fact, I give you so much knowledge, it becomes nauseous. You'll become nauseous because you're tired of listening to it. But it's important to me to ensure that you have a very good understanding of what it is. That's why I have workshops all the time for people that are thinking about getting a reverse mortgage. And anyone is invited. Their loved ones, pastors, whoever wants to attend my workshop, they're more than welcome to come, because I think the key is education and knowledge. And my workshops last about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on the questions. And I go through the nuts and bolts of reverse mortgages. And every time one of them ends, everybody always tells me, well, I'm really glad I came. I didn't really expect it to be this in-depth. But that's my personality, and that's what you're going to get. So I think that's really important. And I'll tell you why, because more and more financial advisors are basically stating that reverse mortgages are becoming a viable option for retirement plans. More and more, I'm reading articles all the time. I mean, I have one right now, and this one says, it's entitled, Seniors May Find Reverse Mortgage a Good Option as Other Investments Decline. And this is from seniorjournal.com. So, you could see that the reputation of reverse mortgages is beginning to change, and they're become viable options for seniors who either, some of their investments didn't pan out the way they did, or maybe they didn't plan the way they probably should have, but they have a lot of equity in their home. It can really be like a life preserver for retirement. So it's something that's becoming more and more prevalent, and I think that that it comes down to just knowledge and education. It just comes down to learning what a reverse mortgage is, what are the pitfalls, what do you need to know, and if you know everything, then it is the easiest loan in the world to really get your hands around. You just have to spend a little bit of time with someone who really knows it. That's the key. It's funny, whenever somebody comes to me, and one of the requirements of reverse mortgage is that you have to have be counseled by a HUD counselor. Now, these counselors are third parties, and they're supposed to basically make sure you understand how a reverse mortgage works and the pros and the cons, and that's their job. After my workshop, at the end of my workshop, I tell everybody, if any of you are going to proceed with a reverse mortgage, you're going to talk to a third-party counseling, and I think it's a great idea. I'm a big fan of the third-party counselors. I think it's really they provide a good sounding board. But I will tell you something: you will learn 1,000 times more in my workshop than the HUD counselor will tell you. And every one of the people who take my workshop after they take the counseling tell me the same thing. They're actually let down because they actually know more than the counselor does by the time I'm done with them. And so it's kind of like, wow, it's kind of really rudimentary. They didn't really get into much, and that's not their goal. Their goal is just to basically give you a basic understanding. My goal, my function, is to give you a very in-depth understanding of it, and I'm very proud of how I put on these workshops and how much time I spend with people and trying to make them understand. And especially now that I'm reading more and more of these articles, as I mentioned, that are saying that reverse mortgages are really, really good products and can be used in a quality financial plan for retirement. So I think that's a really big thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is what do you do? Do you go to, I'm sure you see lots of commercials for reverse mortgage. You got the AAG and all these other commercials that are just blasting you with Henry Winkler, Fonzie, and everybody else is out there pitching these reverse mortgages. Who do you do? Do you go to a direct lender or do you go to a broker? You're listening to the Michael Gaddis Show on AM 1170 The Answer. I am Michael Gaddis, your host of michaelgaddis.com and frontierloangroup.com, and we're talking about whether or not you should use a broker or a direct lender to get your reverse mortgage. Now, I am a broker, and I will tell you the advantages of a broker over a direct lender. I know a lot of people, whether it be a forward or reverse mortgage, always say, well, I'm going to go directly to a lender. Brokers have a lot of power that direct lenders don't. We have more flexibility, even with the same company. I went up against a very prominent reverse mortgage recently. The person who came to me says, I'm going to shop you, which is fine with me. Shop me all you want. First of all, because I taught you how to shop me in a reverse mortgage, because that's one of the things I do at the reverse mortgage workshop is I literally teach you how to shop me so that you know that I'm giving you the best deal that I am. So I said, fine, shop me. Go to anybody you want. Go to a direct lender. Do what you got to do. So this particular borrower went to a direct lender and she got her quote. She did not tell me what her quote was, because that's one of the things I tell you. Don't tell me what they're giving you. And then I gave her my quote. And she says, oh, well, your quote's much better. I'm going to go with you, which is great. I was happy about that. Afterwards, she turned to find out that I put her with the same lender that she was trying to go directly to. And she goes, well, I don't understand. How did you beat them? And I said, I beat them because I have more flexibility on the wholesale side, okay? I don't just work with one lender. I have several lenders that I can put you with, and the lenders are different. They have different types of, ways that they underwrite and things like that. So I said, with this particular one, I knew that they had good pricing, so I could get you a good margin on your reverse mortgage. And so she said, wow, I'm really impressed that you were able to beat them by so much. Well, I mean, as I've told you before, in my reverse mortgages, you got to watch out for, upfront costs, and you have to learn about what those upfront costs are. Which ones can you negotiate? Which ones can you not? Which ones are set in stone? How can you get around them? Are there ways? There's lots of different things you can do. But I have the ability to give credits. I can give different types of things, incentives to my borrowers to be able to give them the best pricing that's out there, and that's why I can beat a lot of the direct lenders. And the funny thing is you end up in with those direct lenders anyway, because I'm signed up with them as on their wholesale side. So I can, so if you're thinking about, I'm going to go directly to AAG or whoever it might be, I'm probably signed up on their wholesale side as well. So that means that I'm able to have more flexibility than the loan officer that's talking to you on the other side, because of the fact that I'm a broker, and the wholesale side is different than the retail side. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for a reverse mortgage. And as I said, this is our weekly little conversation about reverse mortgages, and I hope you get something out of it, because it's not just for the seniors, it's also for the seniors, the loved ones of the seniors. So everyone has loved ones that may be thinking about it. Well, after the break, I'm supposed to have a special guest who's not quite here yet. So when we get back from the break, we'll see if my special guest made it or not. You're listening to the Michael Gaddis Show on AM 1170, The Answer.
AM 1170, The Answer.